Hey guys, it's Valentine season again and I'm back with this beautiful bouquet crochet top. I'm very sure that you guys are going to love this one. I would hope to see your finished results before Valentine's Day. I hope this is a hit design. Last year I gave you several designs to choose from, but this year I picked that one outfit that I knew would be a bang this season. So let me know down in the comment section if you're loving what you're seeing so far. And today I am going to explain two things in the same video. This is a petal that's supposed to sit on a halter top. So if your size extra small, you will go for the small sizing, and for the larger sizes I have within the video how to expand this top to create a different kind of halter top in order to create side coverage. I have linked two designs of mine into this video so that we can favor different sizes as we go along. So I'm excited to bring this design to you guys. If you would like the written pattern, it's already available on all my online shops, and make sure you share with your friends and make this video go everywhere and reach out to different people because it has the exact theme of the season. This can be paired with our previous floralless crochet skirt. So if you don't know what that is, this is the skirt that you can match this top with, and you can also match it up with a crochet mini ruffle skirt, as you can see in this image. So also have an updated version of the halter top that creates more coverage towards the side, and whether you're making the smaller version or the version that has more coverage towards the side, you just sit the petal onto whatever you're going to decide to make for this tutorial. So within the video I will be mentioning both versions. This project you will need yarn. The yarn that I'm using is Winter King. It's a 4-ply acrylic yarn, and it's a size 3 yarn. Then I'll also need a 3.5mm crochet hook, a darning needle, and a pair of scissors. You're going to grab your yarn and your hook. You can basically use any yarn and the corresponding hook for that yarn that you have chosen to use, and you will be able to get perfect results. So to start on the halter top, you're going to start off with a magic ring. You're going to hold your yarn like this and then pull through the working yarn just like that, and then you're going to make a chain of 1. This is going to tighten and close off the magic ring. So you're going to make a chain of 2, which will count as our very first double crochet, and then place 4 more double crochets into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And since the chain of 2 counted as a double crochet, we now have a total of 5 double crochets. And then you're going to make a chain of 2 and place 5 more double crochets into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So after your 5 double crochets, you're going to close off the magic ring just like this. You're going to pull on the tail and close that magic ring. So you're going to have something that looks like this. For this halter top, it's quite different. We're going to keep working like this in a U shape, as if. So we're going onto our next row. We're going to make a chain of 2, which counts as our very first double crochet. Turn your work. Actually, a chain of 3. From now on, we're starting off with a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. Turn your work, and into the very first stitch, you're going to place a double crochet. So we've placed an increase at the beginning of the row by placing another double crochet into the first stitch. So we have 2 double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches until you get to the chain 2 space. So once you get to the chain 2 space, you're going to place 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into the same exact chain 2 space, just like that. And then you're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches until the second last stitch. So this is what you have, and then on top of the last chain you're going to place 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So just to cross check, you should be having a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 double crochets on each side of the chain to space. So we're going on to row 3 and we're going to repeat this. You're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, 1 double crochet into the very first stitch to make an increase at the beginning of the row, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches until you get to the chain to space. From here you're going to go into the chain to space with 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 more double crochets into the chain to space, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches until the second last stitch. And then into the very last stitch, which should be the chain 3, you're going to place an increase by placing 2 double crochets into that last stitch. So you can see we're working in a V shape, actually not a U shape. We're keeping on growing our panel like this. You're going to repeat row 3 until you have enough coverage for your piece. I'll be recommending a number of rows that you should do for the different sizes, but this is going to entirely depend on the fitting that you're going for. So keep working row 3 and I'll be back to show you how many rows that I did for my size. And another thing that I have to point out is your work is going to keep growing and creating bust coverage. So whatever length that you consider, or whatever number of rows that you consider for your piece, this piece should be able to stretch across your bust and cover it entirely. So let me keep working and I'll be back to show you how many rows that I did for the size that I made for. Alright guys, I ended up doing a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 and 18 rows for a size medium. But for all the other sizes I'll be recommending a number of rows, but you can keep adding or subtracting rows depending on the fitting that you're going for. So these are my 18 rows and this measures about alright, this ended up measuring about a total of 22 inches at the base. This can fit for a small to medium, I believe, but if you feel like this doesn't fit well, feel free to add about 2 rows or subtract 2 rows depending on the fitting that you're going for. So this is about 20 rows at the base, and when it comes to the length, the top length is about 12 inches, as you can see here. So this is a cropped version. If you want a longer version, then you're going to have to do more rows in order to get more length to your top. Alright guys, so once you get the number of rows that you need for your size, or you get the length of the top that you wish to have, you're now going to create an edging for this top. So for the edging, you're going to make a chain of 1 and turn your work. We're now going to make 1 single crochet into the very first stitch, and then you're going to make a chain of 4 and slip stitch at the base of the single crochet, just like that, and then single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, chain 4, slip stitch at the base into those 2 loops of the single crochet, and then single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Chain 4, slip stitch into the loops of the single crochet. So we're going to repeat that all the way up. So what this is going to create is those spikes on the edge of the top. As you can see here, this is going to be the right side of the work. So the wrong side of the final row is the right side of the top, because that's where these spikes are going to be popping on the outside of the project. So keep working all the way up until you get here, and I'll show you what to do from here. Alright guys, we are almost towards the chain 1 space, and I've just created a spike or a picot stitch. At this point, I'm going to place 1 single crochet into the very last stitch before the chain 2 space, and into the chain 2 space you're going to just place a total of 3 single crochets into that space. And then the fact that I created 1 single crochet into the last stitch towards the chain 2 space, I'll also do the same exact thing on this side to balance what's happening on this side onto this side. So into the first stitch I'll just place 1 single crochet and go back to the picot stitch pattern or the spike stitch. So from here I'm going to continue to make a chain of 4 and then slip stitch in the single crochet and then single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So we've gone back to the original pattern for this final row, and you're going to do that until the end of the row once we get to the base of the triangle, as you can see here. So this is the wrong side of the work. When we turn it onto the right side, you can see the spike stitch or the picot stitch is popping out and is more evident on this side than on the opposite side where we are working the final row. So this will be the right side of our work. So work all the way down and clean up the edges with the picot stitch, and I'll be back to show you what to do next. Alright, so we're coming to the end of the row, and I'm placing my very last picot stitch towards the end of the row, and I'll place 1 single crochet into the very last stitch of the row. And when we turn it onto the right side, this is exactly what we have, guys. Let me try to zoom out so that you can see exactly what's happening. This is perfect. And now we're going to make a chain of 1 and cut our yarn. Now we're going to clean up the bottom edge as well with a single crochet stitch. So to do that, we're going to first make a chain that will join here, and then we clean up the edge and make another chain on the opposite side. So I'm going to make a chain of 75. So start off with a slip knot and make your chain of 75. So I have my 75 chains. If you wish to make more, especially for the larger sizes, maybe you can go to 100 chains. So from here you're going to go into the single crochet row with 1 single crochet, and then in each of the double crochet spaces you're going to place 2 single crochets into each and every double crochet row. You're going to place 2 single crochets just to clean up the bottom edge of our top. So 2 single crochets in each and every double crochet row, and this is what you'll have. So when you come towards the middle of the top, after placing your 2 double crochets in the last double crochet row before the exact middle of the top, you're going to just skip over to the next row and place 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets into the next row, and you're going to keep on doing that all the way across until you place a single crochet in the last single crochet row of the top. Alright, so we are coming to the end of the row, and I'm placing 1 single crochet in the single crochet row, and then from here you're going to make a chain of 75 or whatever number of chains that you did on this side. So from here you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull through. So you'll have your halter top like this with 2 straps at the base of the halter top, and when it comes to the top you're going to separately make a chain of about 150. So make a slip knot and make your chain of 150. So when you have your 150 chains, you're going to cut your yarn and pull through, and you're going to locate the exact middle of the chain. Just fold it into 2, and you're going to get this folded end and push it through the middle stitch of the 3 single crochets you placed in the middle here. So we have this single crochet, this one and this one. So just find the middle single crochet or the exact middle of the top, and then pull this chain through like that, and then you're going to grab these 2 tails and pass them through the loop, and you'll have something like this. So this is going to tie around your neck. You can go ahead and cut off the excess yarn of the neck strap, just like this. So once you get your desired centimeters or inches lengthwise and heightwise, we're now going to start doing something different. We're going to start creating more coverage towards the side, but not increasing the height of the top or the base length of the top. So from here I have 18 inches, and for row 19 these are going to be the short rows. We're going to first work on one side and then we shall go to the opposite side. So you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. Turn your work, and then into the next 2 stitches, which is this one and this one, you're going to place 2 double crochet together stitch. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 3 loops left on your hook, and yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. So we've created a decrease, but at the same time you should notice that the direction of the top is changing. We are creating a flat edge on this side from now on. So after your 2 double crochet together stitch, you're going to continue to place 1 double crochet in each and every stitch until you come towards the top or the pointed part of the halter top. So continue to just place 1 double crochet in each and every stitch. Alright, so I made 1 double crochet in each stitch until I had 2 stitches to the chain 2 space. As you can see here, we have 2 stitches to the chain 2 space at the top of the halter top. So you're going to make your 2 double crochet together stitch again. So you yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. So we've made a 2 double crochet together stitch, and then into the chain 2 space you're going to just place 1 double crochet there, and that marks the end of this row. As I had mentioned earlier on, we're going to first work one side and then we shall come to the opposite side. So what we are going to do right now is to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet, and turn our work. So meaning we are working on this side first. So you can see this. So we're going to just repeat that row again and again until we create a side coverage for our top. So after your chain of 3, make 2 double crochet together stitch into the next 2 stitches. I hope you still remember how to do that. And then from here you're going to place 1 double crochet in each and every stitch until you have 3 double crochets left on your row. So keep working 1 double crochet in each and every stitch until you have 3 stitches left towards the end of the row at the base of the top. So I'll consider these short rows because they don't cut across from one side of the top to the other. These will be the short rows of the top design. Alright guys, I'm left with 3 stitches on my row, including the chain 3 on the edge. So I have the chain 3, the 2 double crochet together stitch, and another stitch here. So I have 3 stitches left, as you can see. I will make my 2 double crochet together stitch into the next 2 stitches, and then into the last stitch, which is on top of the chain 3, I will place my last double crochet on top of the chain 3. So that marks the end of row 2 of the short rows. So we're going to repeat that again and again until we create coverage towards the side. So for me, I will do a total of 4 rows, and that should be just enough for the size that I'm making for, but just work in increments of 2 rows. I'm making for a size medium, and this should be enough. So work in increments or decreases of 2 rows for each size up or down in order to get a comfortable fitting. So that means if you're working for a large, you will make a total of 4 rows of the short rows towards the side on one side. So you just start off with a chain of 3, turn your work, and you're going to make your 2 double crochet together stitch into the next 2 stitches, and then continue to place 1 double crochet in each and every stitch all the way up until you have 3 stitches left, and you'll create your decrease again by placing your 2 double crochet together stitch into the last 2 stitches, and then the very last stitch, which should be the chain 3, you will place a double crochet on top of the chain 3. So I hope that makes sense. We are just repeating the same exact thing that we did for the previous row, which is row 2 of the short rows. So keep working that. As I had mentioned earlier on, I will do a total of 4 rows, and that should be for a size medium. For a size small, you will do a total of 2 rows. That will be just enough to do the coverage for yourself. For extra small, I think the triangle is just enough for you, but if you feel like you need some side coverage, follow the same exact instructions for size small, and so on and so forth. That's how you're going to create side coverage for your halter top. So you can see the direction of the top has changed. Remember, I had told you that we are no longer increasing the base length of the top, and we are also no longer increasing the height of the top. That's why we are getting a flat edge at the top of our halter top. So we are not increasing anything. We are just increasing the side coverage of the top without necessarily increasing the height or the base length of the top. So keep working, and I'll meet you back when I'm done with my 4 rows towards the side on one side of my top, and I'll show you what that will look like. Alright guys, after my 4 rows, this is what my work will look like at the base, and this is what it will look like at the top. We have basically increased the side coverage by 2 inches just by adding these 4 rows to the side of the top. So you will add 1 inch for size extra small because you'll have increased only 2 rows. So you'll just be adding 1 inch in increments of 1 inch depending on the size that you're adding for. So this is a size medium and we've added 4 rows, which means we've increased by 2 inches because each 2 rows increase by 1 inch. So we're going to repeat the same exact process on the opposite side. As you can see, we've increased this side but not this side, and we want our top to be balanced. So once you get done with your last row here, whatever row that you're at, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, leaving a tail behind to weave in. So from here, you're going to attach your yarn at the base of the opposite side. So into that very last stitch, make sure you find it, the edge stitch of your last row. Alright, so the edge stitch, make sure you find it and attach your yarn into that stitch at the base of the top on the opposite side, and then you're going to make a chain of 3, and then you're going to actually make sure you're working in the opposite direction of the previous row. So you can see this row is facing this direction, so that means I'm going to just attach my top my yarn at the top here, the top part. So just go into the chain 2 space and attach your yarn into that chain 2 space, and then you're going to make a chain of 3 and do the 2 double crochet together stitch into the next 2 stitches. So we've attached here because I wanted to be in the opposite direction of the previous row. So you can see what that is creating. We're still creating a flat edge for our top, but creating side coverage for the second side of our top. So this side has so far 22 rows, but this side is still at 18 rows. So we want to balance what we have this side onto this side, because when we fold our top like this, you can see this side is bigger than the other. You can see that when you fold it into the exact middle, you can see the side is bigger. So we want to balance our top. After your 2 double crochet together stitch, you're going to go ahead and place 1 double crochet in each and every stitch all the way down until you have a total of 3 stitches left on your row. And we're going to just repeat the same exact process that we've been working for our opposite side. Alright, so we've come to the end of the row and we have this stitch and the chain 3 on the edge. So we're going to create our 2 double crochet together stitch into the next 2 stitches, and then you're going to place 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row. So that's how to wind up our row 1. You're going to repeat the same exact process that we've been doing this side until you balance the number of rows of extension that you did on this side onto this side. So I had a total of 4 rows excess, so this is my first row and I'm going to do 3 more in order to balance what's on this side onto this side. Alright guys, we've managed to balance what we had on this side onto this side, and now the top is well balanced. We have a total of 22 rows on this side and on this side for the size that I'm making for, which is a size medium, and this is the base of the top. You can see how we have a flat edge. So if I zoom out a little bit, you'll be able to see the whole top. This is what the top part looks like, and this is what the base looks like. So we are now going to go onto the straps. I've ended one of my sides on the top most side of the top, and I want to keep this top as simple as it can be. So from my last stitch here, I'm going to make a chain of 200. So I have my chain of 200, and after this I'm going to make a chain of 1 and cut my yarn, pull through, and you're going to repeat the same exact process on the opposite corner of the top. So cut off the excess yarn and attach your yarn in the opposite corner at the top, and attach your yarn, single crochet into the same exact corner, and then make your chain of 200 or whatever number of chains that you did on this side. Okay guys, after your 2 straps, you're going to turn your work onto the wrong side or the back side, and you're going to go ahead and weave in all your tails. Weave in your tails on the side that you consider the back side of the top, so that you have a clean finish. Alright, so you're going to turn your work onto the back side, and you're going to now lace up the back of the top. Let me first get rid of this loose end. Okay, so you're going to turn your work onto the back side and then make an X at the back, just like this. This is how we are going to lace up our top. Create an X at the back and then pass the strap through this row here after the decrease stitch here. So our intention is to get almost at the corner of this part, and then do the same exact thing on this side. After the decrease stitch or the 2 double crochet together stitch, you're going to lace up in that space, and you're going to have something that looks like this, and then you're going to go into the base. The base row of the top, and you're going to lace it up like this. So this is what you'll have. So we are now going to learn how to make the petal that's going to sit on our halter top. I hope by now you have decided whether to make the smaller version or the version that has more coverage towards the side. So we are now going to learn how to make this in the cream color so that it's visible for you guys. So for the flower design, you're going to start off with a magic ring. Just like that, and then you're going to make a chain of 3. So just make a chain of 1 to just secure the magic ring, and then make a chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3, and this counts as our very first double crochet. So we're going to go into that magic ring with a total of 11 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we have 11 double crochets plus the chain 3, which makes it a total of 12 double crochets. So you're going to close off your magic ring just like that, and then you're going to go on top of the first chain 3 of the round and place a slip stitch. So you just insert your hook on top of the chain 3, yarn over, and pull through all. So that marks the end of round 1, and you should be having a circular shape. Alright, so we're going on to round 2, and for round 2 you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. You're going to go into that same exact space where the chain 3 is coming from, that space there, and you're going to place 1 more double crochet. And then for the rest of the stitches, we're going to place 2 double crochets in the back loops only. So a stitch has this front loop, and then there's a back loop here, and then a back loop at the end, at the back of the stitch. So for the next stitch, you're going to go into the 2 back loops. Try to get that back loop. So it's like we've inserted our hook through 2 loops. And then you're going to place your 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And you're going to do that all the way around. This should bring us to a total of 24 stitches all the way around. So we're going into the 2 back loops of the stitch, and we're placing 2 double crochets, and this will leave a bump at the front of our stitch, which is supposed to be the front loop in which we haven't worked a stitch. So go all the way around, placing 2 double crochets into the 2 back loops of each and every stitch. All right, so we are coming to the end of the round, and you're going to cross check and make sure you have a total of 24 stitches. So 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, and 24. So cross check and make sure you have a total of 24 stitches, and you can see how this line has popped out. This is the line where we're going to be working our petals for the flower. So once you get done with your very last stitch, you're going to go into the top of the very first chain 3 of the round and place a slip stitch there. So from here, we're going on to round 3, and we're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. Into the same space, you're going to go there with 1 more double crochet. And then we're going to go into the back loops of the next stitch, the 2 back loops, with only 1 double crochet. Then into the next stitch, into the 2 back loops, you're going to place 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So that's the repeat for this round. Into the next stitch, into the back loops, you're going to place only 1 double crochet. So we are alternating between 1 stitch and 2 stitches into the next stitch, but in the back loops only, so that we can maintain this line to pop on top of our surface of the this is supposed to be the base of the flower, where we are creating a foundation for where the petals are going to sit. So go all the way around, alternating between 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Don't forget, we are only working in the 2 back loops, and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And then I'll be back to show you, and also to let you know how many stitches that you'll have at the end of this round. Alright guys, we're coming to the end of the round, and I'm placing 2 stitches into the second last stitch, and you should make sure you end on a stitch that's only getting 1 double crochet into the back loops. So I'm placing my last double crochet into the last stitch, and this is what you should have. You can see that ridge popping out. So you're going to go on top of the first chain 3 of the round, and you're going to place a slip stitch. This marks the end of round 3. So let's go on to round 4. Round 4 is going to be beginning with a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet, and then into the same space you're going to go in there with 1 double crochet. So I forgot to mention, at the end of round 3 you should be having a total of 36 double crochets altogether. 36. Round 1 is 12, round 2 is 24, round 3 is 36. So round 4 we've placed another double crochet into the very first stitch, and then into each of the next 2 stitches we are only going to place 1 double crochet. So into the back loops only, still that's where we're working. So 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So it's time for us to create another increase, so 2 double crochets into the next stitch. So that's the repeat for this round. The repeat is 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and then 2 in the next. Just like that. So repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the beginning of the round. So we're almost coming to the end of our round, and I'm placing 2 stitches into the next stitch. So after your very last increase you should be left with 2 stitches that are going to receive only 1 double crochet into each. So 1 in the next and 1 in the last, just like that. And you should be having a total of 48 stitches at this point. Try to cross check in order to keep track of the stitches. So we have a total of 48 stitches, and we're going to slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. So this marks the end of round 4. All right, so for round 5 you're going to make a chain of 3, go into the same exact stitch with 1 double crochet, and then start working in the back loops only. And this time we are going to have 3 standalone double crochets before the increase. So let's see how to do that. Into the next stitch you're going to place 1 double crochet, into the next stitch 1 double crochet, and then into the next stitch 1 double crochet. We are working only in the back loops, the 2 back loops of each and every stitch. And then into the next stitch we're going to place 2 double crochets. So this is the repeat for our round 5. 1 1 1 2, 1 1 1 2, 1 stitch in each of the next 3 stitches, and then an increase into the next stitch. So I hope this makes sense, and at the end of this round you should be having a total of 60 double crochets. So each round increases by a total of 12 double crochets, if that makes it any easier for you. If you're enjoying this tutorial so far, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you share with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Alright, so I'm going to go all the way around, repeating the sequence for round 5, 1 1 1 2, until I come to the end of the round, and I'll meet you guys back when I'm at this point. Alright, so I've just placed my very last increase of the round 5, and I have a total of 3 stitches left, and each of those is going to get 1 double crochet in the back loops only. 1, sometimes it's hard to get into the second back loop, but try to make sure that you actually get it. One into the next, and 1 into the very last stitch. So this should bring us to a total of 60 double crochets all the way around. And then you're going to go into the very first chain 3 on top of it and place a slip stitch. All right, so this is where we are right now, and we're going to keep increasing the number of stitches in between the increases. The increases are the stitches with two double crochets in them. So we're going to keep increasing the number of stitches in between the increases. So far we have 3 stitches in between each increase. So we're going to keep working until we have a total of 7 stitches in between the increases, and I'll be back to show you what my panel will look like, or my circle will look like. So that means for the next round we're going to have a total of 4 stitches in between the increases, and then the next round 5 stitches, the next round 6 stitches, until we have a total of 7 stitches in between the increases. So we're just going to go ahead and do the same exact thing that we've been doing. Start off with an increase, and then into the back loops you're going to place 1 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet into the next, 1 double crochet into the next, 1 double crochet into the next. So that's a total of 4 double crochets after this very first increase, and then we're going to go into the next stitch with an increase into the back loops, of course, so that we maintain this ridge that's running around the circle. So we have 4 stitches in between the 2 increases, and we're going to keep repeating that all the way around. Alright guys, so I kept growing my circle until it could comfortably sit at the front of my top. As you can see, it's almost on the edges of the top. So you're going to keep growing your circle by increasing the number of stitches in between the increases. Remember, the increases are the stitches that get 2 stitches, and from our demonstration we ended at a point where we were placing a total of 4 stitches in between the increases. So you're going to go on to the next round and place 5 stitches, the next round 6 stitches, and the next round 7 stitches in between the increases, and your round panel is going to keep increasing in size but not curving. It's going to remain flat. So I've stopped on round 9, and that was what was comfortable for my top. If your top is bigger, that means you're going to keep working until your final round is almost on the edges of your triangle, as you can see here. So I've stopped on round 9, and round 9 had a total of 7 stitches in between the increases. And now we're going to go back to our demonstration, and we're going to start placing the petals onto our circular motif, and we're going to start working our petals. So grab your yarn and make a slip knot. Attach into any of the ridges. Remember those ridges that we have around the very first round of the base of the flower. I'll go with this one. Just attach into any of those loops, just like that, and then make a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. So pay close attention. I don't know if the color is clear enough, but I'm going to try to explain as much as I can. So once you have your chain of 3, you're going to go into the same exact loop with a total of 2 more double crochets to make a total of 3 double crochets into that loop. Then you're going to go into the next loop with 3 double crochets. And as I'm working these stitches, I'm trying to make sure I weave in this tail as well. So, and then you're going to go into the next loop with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So we have a total of 9 double crochets, including the chain 3 at the beginning of the row. So you're going to make a chain of 2. Turn your work. This time a chain of 2 counts as our very first double crochet. We don't want a very big space between the first and the second stitch. So chain 2 and go into the same stitch with 1 double crochet, which will create a total of 2 double crochets, and then continue to double crochet 2 times into each and every stitch across. Two double crochets into each and every stitch. All right, so since the chain 3 at the beginning of row 1 of the petals counted as a stitch, that means we are going to place 2 double crochets into the top of the chain 3 as well, because it counted as a stitch. So make sure you go into the top of the chain 3 and place 2 double crochets there. So this will bring us to a total of 18 double crochets, including the chain 2, which counted as a stitch. And then from here, you're going to make a chain of 1, turn your work, and you're going to place 1 single crochet in each and every stitch. So this is going to be a total of 18 single crochets. These are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and on top of the chain 2, you're going to place 1 single crochet because it counted as a stitch. So look what we have right now. This is our very first petal done. And now we're going to count from here. From the next loop, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th, you're going to place 1 single crochet, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. And then into the same space, you're going to place 2 more double crochets to make a total of 3 double crochets. Go into the next loop with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then go into the next loop with 3 double crochets as well. So 1, 2, and 3. So that will bring us to a total of 9 double crochets. We're going to repeat the same exact process. So once you have your 9 double crochets, make a chain of 2, turn your work, 1 double crochet into the very first stitch. That will bring us to 2 double crochets into the first stitch, and then 2 double crochets in each of the next stitches of the petal. And this should bring us to a total of 18 double crochets, just like we did for our very first petal. And don't forget to go on top of the chain 3 because it counted as a stitch. Make sure you place 2 double crochets on top of the chain 3. And then you're going to make a chain of 1, turn your work, and place 1 double crochet in each of the 18 double crochets from the previous row. All right, don't forget to go on top of the chain 2 with 1 single crochet. So this is what we have so far. We have this petal and this petal. We have 2 petals so far. And now we're going to go into the loop, the middle loop of the very first petal. So remember, we work into 3 loops to create a petal. So you're going to locate the middle one, the middle loop, and you're going to go into it, the middle loop of the first petal, and you're going to place a single crochet there. The main aim of this is to create that interlocking kind of look. So you just skip over all these loops and go into the middle loop where you placed the middle 3 double crochets of the very first petal or the previous petal. So this is what you'll have, and you can see how the petals are looking like. And then we're going to go into a loop that is just across. Just go into the next loop there. I'll go into this one and then place a single crochet just like that, and then make a chain of 3. We've started creating our next petals for this round. You see that ridge around the next round 2? That's where we're going to be placing our next petal. So we're just repeating the same exact process. So chain 3, 2 more double crochets into the same loop to make a total of 3 double crochets. Go into the next loop with 3 double crochets, just like that, and then 3 double crochets into the next loop. So once you have a total of 9 double crochets, you're going to make a chain of 2, turn your work, and then 1 double crochet into the very first stitch, and then 2 double crochets in each of the next stitches. So this is basically what we've been doing for the very first petals, and each petal should end up having a total of 18 stitches. Nothing changes. The petal sizes remains the same. Sorry, here you're supposed to place 2 double crochets into each and every stitch. Don't forget that. All right, chain 1, turn your work, and then place 1 single crochet in each of the 18 stitches. Okay, so once you're done with this, then you're going to skip over 3 loops, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th you're going to place a single crochet and a chain of 3, and we're going to start on our next petal. So 2 more double crochets into the same exact loop. So let's see what we have so far. So you can see how the petals are working out. All right, so you're going to keep working around and around, and I'll meet you back when I have a good number of petals to work with. But I hope I've explained the process well. And when we come towards the end here, I'll explain exactly what to do to wind up the petals of round 2 of the base of the flower. All right guys, this is what we have so far, and for your next round, the round 2 of petals should have a total of 4 petals. Remember, round 1 had only 2 petals, and then round 2 will have a total of 4 petals, and you can see how they're alternating to create that rose-like form. And once you have a total of 4 petals, you will just skip over all the loops of the next. You can see we have a total of 3 loops. You're going to just skip over them and then go into the stitch that got the middle 3 double crochets of this petal. So that's this one, and you will just place your single crochet there into that loop. Just try to find the loop and place a single crochet, and then from there you're going to go on to the next level, which is this row of ridges, and you are going to go into any of the loops adjacent to where you place the single crochet and place a single crochet there. And now we're going to start working the petals for that round, that little round. So this will take some time, and at every level we are going to increase by 2 petals. That means the level where I'm at right now, we are going to have a total of 6 petals. This is going to take quite a while, but I hope I've explained each and everything very well. So just go ahead and keep working. And for me, I'm at this level right now. I'll be back to show you what that will look like after working petals here. Guys, I continued to place my petals until I had only 1 ridge left, as you can see here. This is the only one that I left out, but if you want an even larger coverage, then you can go ahead and also attach petals on that very last ridge before the edge of the round panel. So this is what we have right now, and this is what's going to be placed on top of our halter top. So introduce your halter top and make sure it's facing the front or the right side, just like that. And you're going to place your flower in the center of the halter top, and that's what's going to create the magic of the bouquet crochet top. You can pin it down if you wish, but you can also just get a darning needle and thread it using the same exact color as the one you're using right now. All right guys, you're going to thread your darning needle with the same exact color as your top, and we're going to start attaching our flower onto our halter top. So you're going to flip over the petals just like this and just start joining the flower onto the top. I'm just going in and out of the stitches, but pinning it down so that I don't distort the shape of the halter top. Actually, I think this was a mistake, but I'm going to correct it. Okay, this is what we have. So go all the way around the round panel, sticking it onto the halter top at the base, just like you see I'm doing here. I'm just going in and out of a few stitches, and I pull through, making sure I don't distort the shape of the top. So you can see this is already pinned down. So go all the way around and keep attaching the round panel onto the halter top, because the round piece is the base of the flower. So that's what we are attaching onto the halter top. Alright guys, I've gone all the way around the round panel, and if you can see, there's some stitches that are sticking out, like here, here. They'll be almost invisible, and this is what the back of the top looks like. But when it comes to the front, we have something like this. So when you get done with that, you're going to get rid of the loose ends. I've come back to the beginning where I started joining from, so I'll just make a double knot, and I cut off my excess yarn. And then I'm going to find all the tails on the top, and I weave them in. All right. So weave in all your tails. Make sure you get rid of all the loose ends on your top. And this is it, guys. Let's see the final look of our top. Made the top with more coverage. This is what your top should look like. You can see the sides are all covered up. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to check out the written pattern. Don't forget to tag me in your finished pieces, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.